Hey guys, welcome back to another Sorted George Garage with me, Julian. We've got a damaged tail light lens on our classic ride. Let's see if we can repair it. Here we go. Tail light lens in question is on the passenger side of our 66 New Yorker. Now if you have a look at the driver's side, left hand side, that's actually in fairly good condition, nice driver condition as it were. But this one has definitely seen better days. As you can see, we've got a couple of holes going on, but we've also got a crack running all the way across the top here. And also, last but not least, we've got some fading going on of the actual lens where she's cracked, etc. So I'd like to see whether or not we can repair that and maybe bring it back to some kind of a standard like this. Let's give it a go. Here we go. That comes off there with all the dirt. Hopefully now, yeah, here we go. That's just coming apart. Lovely. Do we have any broken... Oh, hang on. Yeah, hang on. We've got bits and bobs in here. Right, we've got a couple of broken lens pieces here, which is what I want to keep. So that's good. There's another one. I'm hoping that we can use them. I hope they are these pieces. Fingers crossed. Because normally, if something like this gets broken and, you know, somebody puts their finger through, the bits usually go inside, don't they? So I'm hoping that I've got everything here to repair it. Right, let me get this cleaned up and I'll come back. What a mess. Right, so we got the lens cleaned up, thankfully with the help of young Hemi. She's come out all right, actually, nice and clean. That's good. Now, what I have noticed... Oh, I'm chucking that all over the place. Yeah, Dad, what are you doing? Dad, show him these bits. Yeah, I will, mate. Hang on, hang on. Right, so these bits here, okay, I think it was that way. Yeah, those bits go together, and that will fit in that hole there, and then this one is going to fit in that hole there. Haven't got anything for that. However, what I do have up on the shelf is some old broken red lens. So I'm hoping that we might actually be able to, whether we melt something into that hole or cut it to size, don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But at least that's cleaned up all right. And we know where we are. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, there you go. You can see how this part here has faded now in the light, can't you? Where the sunlight has been set on top of it. So, what I've got is some red tint for the rear lens. Now, you know you can get the smoke coloured when people want to sort of do different things to their cars and they want to sort of smoke out the red lenses at the back. Well, you can get it in different colours, and obviously I've got it in red, but you can get it in blue, you can get it red, smoke, green, yellow and orange. And basically, like for this application, right, I'm thinking, well, I can't just go into a store and pick up a rear light lens, you know, for a 66 New Yorker, you know, it's like 57 years old. And what happens when it's faded, like obviously this one is? How do you restore that? So yeah, they do like a lens tint spray, and that's what I'm going to use. I will let that dry and I will come back in a bit. See you in a bit. Okay, this is where we're up to at the moment now. I've glued sort of down the crack down here. That's nice and flat across there. I've also glued that piece in. I did try and glue it together, but then it didn't want to come in. So that is obviously going to go in there now, so I shall get that in up from underneath like so, he says, and then we've just got this little piece here. So right, let me come back at a different camera angle, because now what we want to do is get this in. Okay, now I have tried to get this in, but it just needs a little bit of fettling with a file just to take the odd edge and corner off. just so that it can fit in properly. So hopefully now that should go in, sit in there. It's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, this kind of thing, because it's like you got to get that end in first and then that one in, because it's got to go in there, but that one's got to go over, and oh, it's an absolute nightmare. So let's get this in. You sit in there. There you go. There she is. Look at that. That actually went in better. I just took that little bit off, didn't I? Right, that's in. Let me just glue that from behind. You probably can't see that too much, but I've got to get some glue. There's the square bit there in front of my finger. So I'm just going to put some super glue on that and let it soak down through. Bear with me because I need to make sure I get the right piece. Because there's cracks all over the place here. Right, there's my finger. Bear with me. Right, you go down in there and across there and across there. So that's right, you've got to go across the front as well. Right, there you go. That'll do. That should soak down in there. You should just be able to see the super glue seeping through the cracks there. So that's going to stick lovely. Sorted, George. That's banging. Okay, this is where we're up to now. Obviously, we got the square in. That's done. I also managed to get that piece in. It's just this piece here that I don't have. Obviously, we've got this, which I can use. Don't know whether I can... I'm toying with the idea of maybe sort of putting something in from behind. Maybe that won't look so bad. I don't know. Doesn't look so bad. See, you've got the shadow there. This is what I don't want. But perhaps something is better than nothing. Or do I try and melt something in there? Thing is, I don't want to ruin it. Like I say, I can't get this off the shelf or go down to a scrapyard or something, you know, or buy it off of eBay or something like that. Well, I could do, I suppose, but you know, they want 250 quid. And what's the point of buying new or buying a replacement if you can mend your old one? So this is what we're trying to do. Let's crack on. Right, how am I going to do it? Let me have a ponder. Right, I've had a ponder for 10 minutes. I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to spray that inside. Let me just spray that just to see what it looks like from the outside. You know what I mean? Let's get that done first, and then we'll come back. Doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit more red than it was, obviously. That's right. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but just after that one coat, the fading has gone so much. There's only a few little bits here, and these cracks are on the, like, you know, the fading, as it were, is on the outside. But yeah, that's got rid of a lot of that fading, I must admit. And that was just with one coat. So I think we're going to be lucky here, guys. I think with a coat on the outside, obviously it's going to get rid of this, but I've just got to sort out this hole. So, right, now we've got one coat. It shouldn't be too bad, like I say, to get rid of all that fading. That's good. I'm well chuffed with that. That's actually, yeah, that's really good, that. Yeah, so what we've got to do now is try and get that hole filled. You can see I've got my torch on so you can see it better, but obviously these cracks are on the outside. But considering it was virtually faded clear, you know what I mean, that's really good. That's covered it up like on the inside really well. So these will obviously disappear, like, you know, when we coat the outside, because that's actually what it is. It's like for the outside, not the inside. But well, just a coat on the inside. Look at that. Right, let me see what we can do with that hole. Well, I had to go with the old blowtorch just to see what my melting skills were like. Yeah, not all that good. So I'm just going to give it a go with the old soldering iron, just to see whether I can melt one into the other. It'll be nice to find out, as it were, you know, like so. We'll see. Let me come back. Right, I think I've sussed out the crack anyway. If you notice, as I squeeze that together, where is it? There it is, just there. Look. Can you see that? Let me see if I can get the angle correct for you. There you go. I don't know why, but that does not want to hold together. And what I've done over here, it's done it. It's stuck because I've just ran the soldering iron across that crack and it's held it together lovely. So I'm going to go all the way along that crack, squeezing that as I go. As you can probably see the movement there. There you go. So let me go and do that first so that I can sort out that crack, and then we'll see whether or not we can fill that hole. Here we go. Okay, where we're at now, I'm just trying to make a little piece. You can see the hole through there, like the shadow, as it were. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to make a little piece that will sit in there, and I can melt it from the other side. As you can see now, I've gone all the way along, and that has closed up that gap lovely. None of this now moves. It's all stuck. Sorry about the focus. This is all stuck strong now, all because I melted it from behind. I just want to make a piece that is going to sit in there. I didn't take enough off. That's better. Okay, so what I'm doing basically is holding the plastic in the pliers and I'm just grinding it off on my grinding wheel. Now I want, on this particular one, I now need to take off some of this here, and it needs to have like a curve to it. So I'm just going to use the edge of that wheel. So let's give this a go, shall we? There you go. Right, there you go. There's that curve. And basically also what I've been doing is using the end of the pliers as my stop. So obviously I can't take off too much. Yes, it would be easier if I had a Dremel, but I don't have a Dremel. So something like this, that there is going to have to do. Sorted, George. Right, let's crack on. That is almost perfect. That can fit in there, but I've just got to shape this last little bit. Wow. Right, let me just finish that last little bit off, and then hopefully we can melt that in. There you go, last bit of fettling, and that fits in there lush. So I will melt that from behind. Wow, that's brilliant. Sorted, George. Right, and there it is, done. Job jobbed. She is in. She is sat in there, and she's melted. It kind of melted, literally. So it kind of sort of like twisted a little bit, unfortunately. So, but hey, there's not a hole there, and there it is from behind. So, right, let's give this another couple of coats inside, and then a coat outside, and we'll see what it looks like. Here we go. No, well chuffed with that, I must admit. Now that ain't too bad at all, is it? Considering what we started out with. Look at that. I'm well happy with that. That's the top side, obviously, where all the cracks were and all the fading. Sorted, George. And there's the last little repair there, look. Banging mush. Absolutely banging. Well, that's it, guys. She's had a bit of drying time, and there she is. She has come out absolutely fantastic. Yes, you can still see the cracks, the crack lines, as it were, but to be fair, I wasn't actually trying to hide them. All I wanted to do was seal them up so that they didn't leak. Yes, I know I was lucky as regards a couple of the pieces that had broken off. And obviously actually fallen through into the light unit itself, but I still had to. I know I had to make like one little piece, but that was good fun doing that on the grinder. But yeah, she's come out really, really well. I'm so happy about that. At the end of the day, that now will pass an inspection. It will pass an MOT. It's red. It's not faded. There's no holes in it. Yeah, and to be fair, I haven't paid out $250 for a replacement lens. You know, I've repaired it myself. The piece that I was using to actually repair the bit that was missing is actually it's actually a broken taillight lens that I found by the side of the road. It was like, oh, I could do with that. Yeah, so I just stopped and picked it up. Obviously, somebody had a bump, and it's like, thank you very much, I'll have that. So yeah, so that's what I used, obviously, like to repair it. I mean, it's red plastic. That's red plastic. It works, you know. Looking at that though, compared to that one, I think now I'm going to have to take that apart and give that a clean up and a paint as well, because that is lovely and clean and glossy, whereas that's a little bit on the matte side. So yeah, I'll have to pull that one apart now. Right, I'm going to put that back together so that we can see what it's like done. I'll see you in a bit. Right guys, a couple of days later, I've put it all back together. I've put it in the car and wow, what a difference. Have a look at that. That is fantastic. That's obviously the original one. I haven't touched that yet, but I think I'm going to have to take that apart and clean that up, because that done enough show up, that one, instead of the other way around. How's that? I am really pleased with that, guys. Like I say, you can still see the cracks in the lens, but I'm not worried about that. At the end of the day, the lens is 57 years old. You're going to have like crazy cracking and things like that, you know, the crazed look to it, as it were. It's not a new lens, you know, it's older than what I am. But that tint stuff, this stuff here, that is absolutely fantastic. That has brought that back. It's got rid of all of the fading. It's given it a nice gloss sheen to it. Yeah, and it's kind of like, I won't say it's made it look new again, but then again, you know, from 10 feet it has. Obviously, if you look hard, you can see, obviously, the cracking. But, you know, from back here, you know, that's, compared to that one, that's obviously, you know, 57 years worth of wear, but with the nice gloss sheen on that, that looks lovely. Right, I'm going to get on and do the driver's side so that we can see what they both look like together. See you in a bit. And there it is, jobbed, finished. That's brought back that lens lovely. It's a beautiful gloss finish to that. I'm well happy with that, I tell you. And obviously this one, I know we can still see the cracks, like I say, but considering what it was with the holes, etc., and the fading, they've come up lovely. I am well happy with that. Sorted, George. That's banging. Right, that's it guys for this one. Thanks ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope this video has helped you out in some way. Just because your classic taillight lens has got a hole in it or a crack or it's faded, doesn't mean to say that it's ready for the scrap heap. All you got to do is grab a bit of scrap taillight lens that you find by the side of the road, a bit of super glue and a soldering iron. Look what we can achieve. Guys, if this has helped you out, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. It will help this channel grow. I'm trying to make 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. We're up to like 800 and some up now, so with your help we'll get there. Nip over and check out Chris over at Sweet Machine. He's got some good stuff going on over there as normal. We're on a little tugger now. He's international. Go and check that out. It's well worth it. Guys, I will see you on the next one. It's Sorted George Garage. Banging.